And now, now we're going to go over to Netflix and Friends, and we're going to talk about Trine. And this is Trine is a documentary. No, it's a comedy series starring Esther Smith and Rafe Spall, and it's about a couple, Nikki and Jason, who, when you meet them, because I think there's 4 seasons of this now. I've watched all 4 seasons. When you meet them, first of all, they have decided, let's have a baby, and they try and have a baby, and that's what the Trine of the title originally refers to, because they really want to be parents, and then they found out that there's a problem and they can't be parents. I can't remember I can't remember whether it's with sperm or with eggs, but there's a problem and they can't be parents, so they decide to adopt. And the first season follows the whole thing about them trying to adopt and what goes through there and all the different people who are trying to adopt babies and how it becomes this sort of competition between the haves and the have-nots. And you have and I think that there's bits of this where you will quite like it, because when they go to all the different people who are trying to adopt a child, there's bits of it that get very motherland. They get very motherland and one-upmanship and, oh, look what we have. Oh, yes, we just come here. Oh, yeah, we can give the child a tree house, that kind of thing. And it's one of these shows that just gets back by on the chemistry between Esther Smith and Rafe Spall. It gets by on the chemistry on the lead's character, and it's one of those things where we're just going to take these guys and we're going to put them into a situation. They're not necessarily plot heavy. They're just kind of like more sort of situation things. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to. It goes through them trying to become parents, trying to adopt, the ups, the downs, the false starts, all of that, and goes all the way through to by the time it gets to season 4, they've adopted kids, and then there's a whole bunch of other things that they have to deal with. And I quite like this show. I mean, I always talk, when it comes to comedies, I always find that it's difficult to sort of, I say this every single time I review a comedy. It's difficult to review a comedy without trying to just recreate the jokes. But all I would say is the chemistry is really good. The supporting cast that they have, because they have like his dad, and his dad is like one of these guys who just always fixes everything. Never says I love you, but he says I love you by coming around your house and fixing your light switch. that kind of person. So they have this running joke where his dad just shows up every now and then and goes, "Oh, what's wrong with your stairs? Don't worry, I'll fix it." And then they come back to the house and he's busy ripping the whole thing up. They have some friends played by Olivia Lovett-Bond and a guy, an actor who I keep seeing in a whole bunch of things. I've seen him in Rivals recently, but I keep forgetting his name. He's tall. He was in Motherland. He played Anna Max Martin's husband. But anyway, he plays a similar kind of character here where he's just sort of like silly. Then you have Darren Boyd. You have Darren Boyd and Sean Brooke, who she plays Esther Smith's sister, who is going out with this guy, and Darren Boyd plays this sort of up himself, totally oblivious to the real world kind of guy who's just got, and he's quite hilarious. Their interactions are quite hilarious because he's kind of totally divorced from reality, but she, like his partner, she's very much grounded in reality. She's very much kind of like, the kind of person where there's a scene where they're at a wedding and she's doing the music and she's like, I refuse to pay £3 extra to get rid of the streaming. So she just sort of like puts the music on with all the streaming stuff. So in the middle of like a dance, all of a sudden an advert comes on for like holidays. That kind of, and so there's a lot of stuff that goes on between there and I think it's a really good show. I would give it a 4 out of 5 in general. And I would say, Go watch Trine. I mean, I know that there's some people who either maybe they're trying to have kids or anything like that have found this show quite so helpful. To use modern parlance, they feel seen. I believe they feel seen when they see, or if anybody who's tried to adopt or anything like that. I think that it does go into the naughty world of it and how crazy it can be sometimes and how much work you have to go into it, and then some other people are just going to go, oh, look, there's a baby, and it's so yeah. I would recommend it, and when I know that because I know Silo's coming back, and because Silo's coming back, you are probably going to go in there and dip your toe in the Apple TV Plus thing again. I'll say while you're in there, because Silo will be doing one a week or anything like that, I would recommend Trine. I would say go watch Trine because I think it's not up there with The Detectorist or anything like that, but it is very much along those lines of that gentle British humor that you can just go along with, that has a little bit of social commentary thrown in there, but mostly it's just about the gentle Britishness of the whole thing. Yeah, 4 stars for Trine. Season's wonderful. All right.